they didn't have the bigger 5-inch tubes yet.
This thing is massive.
So.
I've got that nice cool.
Hey, what's going on, Jonathan?
Ooh, let me try.
Yeah, I stuck my entire GoPro in there. It's so big.
This is crazy.
So this is the new cold air for the VMP Gen 3, and we made this to match the equally large throttle body. Now you can have a true 5-inch all the way from the mass air to the throttle body in a nice little package that fits in that super tight Cobra engine bay.
Freshly scavenged from our scratch and dip.
Yeah. This is discounted specially for Jonathan.
I'm excited.
These are brand new parts. Brand new mass air sensor with stock calibration and adapter harness.
Plug and play.
This is exciting stuff. That'll raise the limit too.
We make it, you race it.
Yeah. And lose to Rick. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you the current setup on the car now. Currently, this is the JLT intake, and this is a 100mm MAF housing. And you can see here how it's tapered from 4 to 5 inches. The new intake setup is a full 5-inch, and I will show you guys that as soon as it is installed on the car. And but now I'm going to take it off and bring it inside, and I could show you side by side. I'm going to compare both the JLT intake and 100mm MAF housing compared to the new PMOS 120 housing and the new VMP full 5-inch tube. So like Justin said, he came out with this 5-inch, true 5-inch intake tube. So you can run 5 inches all the way up to the GT500 single blade throttle body. And he didn't really go super into detail. He's pretty busy. However, this isn't for sale really as a kit yet on their website because I believe they're going to a new website soon. I'm not sure if it'll have the same domain name or not. However, all of this should be able to be found on their website. This is their 120mm PMAS mass airflow housing. This is a 05 to 14, I believe, slot style mass airflow sensor. And then this is a pigtail that converts the 0304 Cobra factory harness to be able to run this mass airflow sensor. Now you can't just plug it in and run it. You do have to get a new tune to be able to run this sensor. With this housing, there's a new filter that's provided, and it essentially just bolts on here. And what makes this housing a little bit better, more than just the size, is you can see this beveled edge where the air comes in, and this kind of prevents some turbulence with airflow going over the mass airflow sensor. So when it comes to tuning, it's a lot cleaner. And this is one of the reasons I wanted it, just because it's going to make tuning easier. It's going to help, obviously, with the new sensor. It'll raise the mass airflow limit, and if you high horsepower applications, I'd say 800 and up, this sensor and this housing are definitely what you want to run. Now, all this stuff here can be found at vmpperformance.com, or you can just call VMP directly and order it with one of their sales representatives. Now, what I have here behind me is I wanted to kind of give you guys a comparison of both the size and mainly just the size of the two different mass airflow housings. So this is an SCT, either a 2300 or 2600, honestly I don't remember, but it's a 100mm MAF housing. This is what I currently ran on the car, and this is the new 120 housing. So you can see that, I mean, it is a massive difference. It's incredible. Then behind me here also, not behind me, right here. This is the JLT intake, which I ran on my car, and to couple it to the GT500 throttle body, I had a 4 to 5 inch adapter. So the intake was tapered, and I just wanted to eliminate any sort of airflow restriction going up into the blower. So I wanted to just maximize everything I had. Now the difference in intake is amazing. I mean, Obviously it's going from 4 to 5 inches, but I mean, this is the opening connected directly to the throttle body versus what I currently run. So it's probably only good for a gain of, I'd say, I mean, at most 20 horsepower, but the power isn't really what I'm going for. I'm really going for the tunability of the car. I want it to be a cleaner tune, a more linear curve. One thing that you're gonna have to do if you get this, if you don't already run a breather, you're gonna have to get a valve cover breather, or maybe run an oil catch can line from the passenger side PCV valve, because there's no spot on this intake to plug it into. So what I did is I just grabbed a generic cover breather for now, and I'd like to eventually go to a CFM one because they make some very nice ones as well. So hopefully that answered any questions anyone has, and or just provided knowledge of an intake maybe you didn't know existed. Again, this stuff can be found at bmpperformance.com, or you can give them a call. Call any of their sales reps. Everyone's very friendly there, and they'll be sure to help you out. So I got the new setup on the car. Had to fiddle around with it a little bit because obviously I have this set up in a Fox, so there's a little bit less room. But overall, pretty simple install. You can see it's just massive compared to the old setup. This filter alone and the mass airflow housing alone are just absolutely huge. And then I have the adapter harness in here going to my factory plug. Right now, like I said, I just have a black generic breather, and then the intake tube goes straight to the throttle body. Underneath I have my intake air temp sensor. There's a port for that, and that is all there is a port for. So yeah, should be pretty interesting to see how it runs after, power wise, and how much cleaner the tune is, or you know how easy it is to tune it. So I actually haven't had it on the dyno since I put the Gen 3 on it. We've just been data logging it and going back and forth. I also have a SET Firewire, so I'm actually gonna hook that up soon. And if you don't know what that is, it pretty much allows the tuner to see the air-fuel ratio. So when you data log, you can see the AFR along with everything else. So I have an Innovate wideband gauge. You just hook up one wire from the STT Firewire to an Innovate output wire, plug it into the tuner, and then when you record data log, it'll actually record AFR as well. So it makes Joe happy, who is the tuner for VMP, and it's a lot easier. It saves a lot of time. You don't have to record the AFR while you're data logging. So I've had it for a little bit. I bought it, but I haven't actually had it. I haven't gone and picked it up, so I picked it up when I got the intake as well. So, well, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. We'll have this bad boy on the dyno in the coming weeks for a dyno day we're going to, and see what it makes. All right, peace.